and welcome back to another podcast. This is Ghost Stories Told from the South. I am your co-host, Lexi.
And I am your host, Steven. Or you can call me Uncle Boo. I still haven't decided. It's y'all's decision. But are y'all ready for some scary stories? We've got a lot today. A lot of short ones, but they're very scary.
Yes, we do. Yeah, today's episode is going to be a shorty. Not like we're going to have a bunch of short episodes. Wait, a bunch of short stories.
We're going to have a bunch of short episodes.
But it's going to be a good one. So.
You're a butt.
You're a butt. But I'm going to kick it off. Let's get started.
Let's get started and see what kind of crap we can get into, fellers.
Okay. So, I'm going to start off with the Limba tuberculosis. I can't talk. As you guys know this. The Limba Tuberculosis State Hospital.
The Limba?
Lima, like Lima. Lima. This is in Lima, Ohio. Okay. So this place was originally named the District TB Hospital when it first opened, and they always change their name. These places always change it 25 times.
This place is huge, guys. Go check it out.
It is. It looks like the asylums we talked about because it has a huge facility, but it's really cool. So it was actually one of the very first TB hospitals to open up in Ohio, and at first the capacity was only 24 beds, and it opened in 1911. So.
1911.
And they treated everybody from 7 to 90-year-olds. So they had a wide variety, just anything and everything. Well, and the average inpatient stay at the beginning was 3 to 5 years, and they narrowed that down to 1.5. So it reduced.
It's not bad.
Yeah. Their big hospital, the original one, it was expanded in 1927, and they fixed it and everything. And then it was remodeled again in 1957, allowing up to 138 patients. And we all know what happens whenever we remodel stuff.
Yeah.
Well, then in 1960, they changed the name to the Adderall Valley TB Hospital. And then in the 1970s, the second floor of the hospital wasn't in use. And so basically slowly over the years, less and less and less, the hospital was in use. And
really?
Yeah.
That's weird. Usually them big hospitals like that stay busy for a while.
This one didn't.
And the government basically has to come in and shut them down because all the bad stories they hear.
Yeah. Well, and then this one shut down in 1973.
Man, that was kind of early.
And it was rumored to be demolished, but it still stands. So that's really all the history. But I have some interesting ghost stuff. But I couldn't really figure out why it shut down so early. But I don't know.
It was a big joint too, big place. You figured they could have used it for something.
Yeah, I know. I was that's weird. Okay, so basically they say the ghosts of the TB patients linger there, which it's kind of obvious. They died there. They're probably gonna haunt that place. So they say whenever someone enters the hospital, the ghost or whatever kind of clings to you and follows you around.
Follows yous.
Sorry, I hang out with Haley too much. Follow you around.
That's her friend. She's from up north. She's from Maryland.
Yeah, sorry guys. Follow you around. And then also they say you hear really weird noises at night, just the normal screaming and voices, the usual.
It's the normal stuff, Ah!
And then they say that you see fast-moving, shadowy figures and apparitions, running down the hallways, and then disappear on you. And then you can see, get this, a girl in white, not a lady in white, but a girl in white. So, and then you get this overwhelming fear of sadness and loneliness and death. So that's fun. And then you can also hear a female humming and her voice and you can hear footsteps and stuff like that. Yeah.
Like that?
Calling you to
I know
her
that
room.
was beautiful, everybody. You're very welcome for that treat.
Very, very
If y'all are
talented.
nice, I'll sing for Halloween.
Oh gosh. Oh.
And I'll sing some Christmas songs this year.
Oh gosh, please no. No. Okay. So that's pretty much it. That was really shorty, but I thought
That's
that
weird
was,
though. That place is huge, and I don't know why it would shut down. You figured they would have used it again.
That's what I thought was weird about it. Like, they literally don't use it anymore. Like, it's just abandoned.
I mean, because usually the government has to come in and shut them down. Because
I'm not sure, but I think they said part of it is still in use, but that could have just been something else. I'm not sure if that was part of something
well, it's
else.
such a big place. Well, I've got a familiar story. I know everybody's probably heard about the old Mothman
The Moth Man.
in West. Is it Virginia? Yeah, West Virginia.
West Virginia.
I almost said that.
It's a little inside joke if you haven't noticed yet.
Anyways, we got the Mothman. I'm pulling some Mothman stuff up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's on his computer pulling it up.
Yeah. All right. Okay. It's a Mothman from West Virginia. The first report of the Mothman, excuse me, was in on November 12th, 1966, in Glendenden, West Virginia. A gravedigger was, working at night getting a plot dug for the next funeral that morning. He's sitting there the whole time digging, and something kept flying from tree to tree and stuff, and he didn't know what the hell it was. It scared him.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
Within 3 days later, after the gravedigger sightings, two couples noticed a gray-winged creature standing in front of their car in a nearby town of Point Pleasant.
Point Pleasant, that sounds...
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
like
they
the
wasn't
name of that
doing
town.
nothing pleasant. I think they went parking in Lover's Lane.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, they got busted there by the Mothman.
He was like, what are you guys up to?
But the witnesses say he's really fast flying, but he ain't that real graceful on his legs.
Okay, so like
He's
if
not
you,
that
if
fast,
you catch
but-
him running, he's like out of
Yeah,
luck.
but he can fly fast, they say.
Well, he's the Mothman.
And of course, that's when they first started seeing him, and there's still reports of him. But the biggest one that really got them on the map was in December 15th of 1967, just over a year after the first sightings of the Mothman. Traffic was busy, of course. It was Christmas. Everybody was doing their late time shopping. And where this town's located, there's like a river or something in between them and the next town or something. There's something about this bridge that connects them to that island, and it kind of connects them to the mainland or something. Anyways, and its bridge was built in 1928, and it's 1967, so it was probably getting close to... But traffic was busy. Well, the stoplights weren't really in sync, I guess, and there was too much weight on the bridge, they figured, and it collapsed, killing everybody that was on the bridge that day.
That's sad.
Yeah, they said it was sad. You heard people screaming, crying. There was presents out in the river where a bridge fell because
What
people
day
were
was
late
this
night
again?
were shopping.
December 15th. Oh my God, that's Stephanie's birthday.
Oh my God, that's crazy. My daughter was born on that day.
Ew. That makes that
Wow.
even more creepy.
She's the Mothman.
She's the Mothman's daughter.
Anyways, the Silver Bridge, that's what they called it, collapsed. And it connected, Point Pleasant in West Virginia.
Mm.
Oh, and Gallipolis, Ohio. Somehow it connects all three of them places.
That's funny. I just did something about Ohio too.
But reports of the Mothman was seen around the bridge 3 days before that.
Ooh, maybe he caused it.
Well, that's what they kind of speculating. Maybe he did something to it, or it was just a coinky dinker, they said. Well, they still get occurrences to this day, and people report seeing him and stuff. I guess I should have dug more and see who else seen him, but That's the biggest one that really put the Mothman on the map. But he's still there's. I was reading too. There's I've heard this one. There's some kind of old army, like base or barracks or something around there. And of course, the kids go out there for the local hangout to drink and be kids.
I mean, yeah.
Well, he haunts that place sometimes because they kind of think it might be something to do with the government. Coming some of the conspiracy people.
That's fun.
Yeah, so
that's great. The government has Mothman now.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, guys.
But yeah, they still have sightings to this day and stuff. But that's kind of creepy though, how that happened to that bridge, and a couple days later.
And it's weird that it happened on Stephanie's birthday. Just okay. So, you know how like at the very beginning, and if you haven't went back to the beginning, you should. How we were talking like about brides dying in hotels like by suicide and stuff. Well, this one is going to be about another bride, but it's not going to be in a hotel. There is a designated bride bridge. This place is called the Bloody Bride Bridge, and this is in Stevens Point, Wisconsin, or known as Highway 6. So, basically, this bride-to-be was killed in a car accident on her wedding night. Her and the groom. Well, apparently now they both haunt the, road, the bridge. So, that's the, folklore legend thing. Well, this is, the ghost stuff that people have seen and their experiences. One night, someone was parked, on the bridge around midnight, and then the bride and the groom, who's dead, both appeared in the back seat of this woman's car. So, and then the people say, strange apparitions appear, and then fog and weird rocks just come out of nowhere. Okay, the Helltown rock, how that just appeared, stuff.
Oh yeah,
stuff like that just appears out of nowhere.
Oh my god,
it's bizarre. And then this one time, this police officer hit this bride ghost, and then stopped and was looking around for her, and she ended up being in the backseat of his car. Which I was like,
I think I would have told them I'm not going back to that bridge ever again.
Yeah. Well, then also people see a bloody woman in white, walking around and leading people to the bridge. But then, people, I've researched this one a lot. There's, the cops, I guess, got involved in it. They're there's actually no evidence of, somebody dying here. But it could have been, from, way back when.
Yeah, it could have been, from the 20s or the 30s.
When they really didn't keep records. So, I mean...
That and a fire might have happened.
True.
So, number of things.
Well, I mean, it was a car accident, but, whatever, a number of things could happen.
Well, too, if it's a small town, especially back then, a lot of stuff didn't get put in the paper.
Yeah. So, it's kind of like a folklore thing, but also, but it was like a bridge, so I was I felt like I had to do my duty and do my places. So,
I haven't been writing times down. Oh,
I
you
have. Stupid. Okay, so that one's another shorty, but what do you got? Or you want me to do another one before you do your last one?
I got two more, Senor Butthead.
Oh, sorry.
Golly. We've only been doing this for 13 minutes, and you've done two.
I have a lot left. It's fine.
And I've done one.
Do you want me to go and do my other one? You want me to do another one?
Yeah, do another one real quick, because this one about the babysitter is pretty short, too. I'll look it up on the computer.
Okay. Well, this is Hotel Hell.
Hotel Hell.
This is in Maribel, Wisconsin. Look it up.
Remember last time I tried that, Gordon Ramsay's stuff kept coming up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we already really recorded this episode, but we had a recording issue, so we stopped.
Yeah, that's stupid.
So, anyway, this is Hotel Hell in Maribel, Wisconsin. Basically, it's actually called, the Maribel Caves Hotel, and they call it that because, the neighboring, Maribel Caves, but it's called Hotel Hell because of, everything else I'm about to tell you. So, this building has been burned 3 times throughout its history. And each time, it's been the exact date, but like a different year. So, they rebuilt it twice, and the last time they just said forget it and just left it. The first fire was in the 20s, the last fire was in the 30s, and the last fire, everyone died in their sleep.
Hey, God.
Yeah. They say that there's skeletal remains, like, remaining on the 3rd floor in the basement. But if you look in the pictures, there's no, like, inside frame. It's just, like, the outside frame, if that makes sense. Like, there's no walls or anything of the inside. It's just, like, the outside framework, if you get what I mean. Well, apparently, when it was still a hotel, guests went psycho and killed everybody in the hotel. Like, it was a mass murder. Yeah.
A guest went psycho and killed everybody.
Yep. And it was like a mass murder frenzy, and he also committed suicide afterwards.
Wow, what a lucky little...
Yeah. Well, after that happened, it attracted, some local witches. It attracted a cult of voodoo witches. Well, then, they did secret rituals in this hotel. And they cursed the land. And whenever they did that, they opened a portal to hell.
That's always lovely. What'd you do this weekend? Nothing, just opened a portal to hell.
Yeah, whenever they did that, because they opened it through a fountain in the front. Whenever they did that, it terrorized the entire town and pretty much, like, made the town go crazy.
That's nuts.
So, then another coven came by. And they were like, we got to fix this. So they fixed it, came to the rescue, and basically they trapped the evil within the vicinity of the hotel, like within the gates. And yeah, so that's one reason why it's called Hotel Hell, because, apparently it was hell.
That's still nuts. Somebody got up and killed everybody in the damn hotel.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but he was psycho, I guess. And then whenever it first opened, I guess it was a spa for, like, the rich before it, became the worst hotel on earth.
I think that's the one where a bunch of gangsters would go hide out and stuff, too.
It said during Prohibition.
Prohibition, yeah.
Yeah. Al Capone and John Dillinger.
Did John Dillinger stayed there? Yeah, I figured they would, because I heard about that place.
Yeah, they ran a moonshine business there, and they also did a water company out of the hotel next door.
But I didn't know it had that many fires, and I didn't know somebody got pissed off in the middle of the night and killed everybody.
Yeah, they had underground tunnels as well, and apparently there's treasure underneath there. But of course, the authorities are like, that doesn't what. So you should go for yourself. Oh wait, no, don't do that because it's private property. I'll get shot. Don't do that. You can't do that because there's also under surveillance, and if you believe in the ghost stuff and it's actually a portal to hell, you'll probably get possessed the minute you walk in there. But it's under surveillance. It's an enclosed property, private property. It's also kind of like in the woods, sort of. So people are, how people are about their properties, and so okay, there's been so many sightings. And, okay, there's no flooring, as I said this before. So there's been sightings of, people peering out of the windows, but there's no windows and there's no flooring. It's just, the rock.
Oh, my God.
So people see that. And then they get, a strange odor, out of where the bathroom used to be. Yeah. Or one of the bathrooms, a disgusting odor. Well, then, apparently, leftover objects, from the, fire and stuff, levitate.
Wow, I think I want to go see that place.
And then they hear strange noises and voices and screams from the basement where apparently the skeletal remains are.
Oh my God.
So there's books upstairs, they said, but there's no flooring. So that I don't understand.
Well, maybe the flooring, they had the books and stuff up there, and the floor was good, and then the floor rotted.
I don't know. I really don't.
Or if there's a fire.
Yeah, but I don't know. They said there used to be books up there, and, then they used to burst into flames, all the time, by themselves. It was weird. There's also like a bunch of blood on the walls from the massacre still.
Oh my God.
So, and apparently, if it's a dare, it's a dare. If you shine a light at the second story, like anywhere, a ghost will shine it right back at you. Ugh. So let's go do that.
Yeah, let's see if it's true. No, and I like it to be true and it'll happen.
Or something will jump out of us and be like, ah. So, okay. That's that place. You want to do your babysitter story?
Yeah, I was trying to see the pictures. I found, actually, when I was doing the research on it, I found the murder pictures. Guess if I can't do that, then I'll just go ahead with my story.
Do it, baby.
Shut your face. Anyways, here we go. On March 18th, 1950, Ed Romack and his pregnant wife, Ann, decided to go out for dinner. The couple often used the neighborhood babysitter, Janet. She watched her 3-year-old son, Craig, all the time. So they was pretty comfortable with her watching the kid. But Ed was kind of worried about going out and leaving her alone with the kids with the babysitter, because there was less than a mile from the house, there was a murder that happened 6 months before this one.
Oh.
And it was another babysitter. So he was kind of leery at first, but he, I guess they decided to just do it. So at 11,
babysitters are getting targeted.
Yeah. Well, she came over, watched the kids and all that, and then the kid went to bed. So she was just chilling on the couch, I guess. And at 11 o'clock, the policeman got a phone call from a woman screaming, "Help, help, help." But this happened in 1950, people, and where technology sucked back then, so they didn't know where she was. She didn't tell them an address, so they couldn't go check it out. And
oh, so they couldn't do anything.
yeah, literally could not do nothing. I mean, she's screaming, "Help." What are you going to do?
Oh, that sucks.
But she ended up, when the people came home, the baby was fine, but Janet was dead, raped, beaten, stabbed.
Oh.
Yeah, and even the telephone cord, he used that too to choke her. On top of everything else. It was kind of a gory scene because the young lady was down and the guy, and you could see her panties were ripped off. Yeah.
But the baby was fine?
Yeah, he didn't mess with the kid.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I remember
but
this.
that story right there is for all the baby stories.
Because I remember like When a Stranger Calls.
Yes.
That one, I love that movie. I mean, it's like, but that's one of my favorite ones. Also, I remember this urban legend thing. It's like this babysitter, she walked into their room and she saw this like clown on a rocking chair.
Oh yes.
And she called the parents and she was like, "Hey, can I move this clown? It's really creeping me out." And they go, "We don't have like that size clown. They have like other clowns, but not like that." It was like this huge like person clown, and they're like, "We don't have that." And I guess like it attacked her and she disappeared.
Well, the one I heard, she calls the parents and they're like, "What? We don't have a clown." And he said, "Quietly go get the kids and get the hell out of the house and call the cops." Sure enough, they showed up. She got out of the house and cops went in there and found that guy.
Oh, that's
even creepier.
Just him just waiting.
So yeah. So what would you much rather have? The clown just attack you and take you, or
come home to see him like, "What's up, y'all?"
and not touch you? What would you want?
I don't want to be taken, but at the same time, I really don't want it to just be like,
taken.
When are you gonna like do something? Like, I don't want to come arrest you and you punch me in the face. You know what I mean? I don't like clowns. Why does it always have to be clowns? Okay.
It's just the way we are now.
So, I'm gonna be doing the Cindabath tunnel. This is in Kingsport, Tennessee. Now, if I'm not saying this right, we always put in our description what we're gonna be talking about. So, if you don't know...
Oh, and I'm sorry, that baby story was from Ohio.
Wow, there's so many stories from Ohio right now.
I know.
But this one's from Tennessee, not Ohio. But, like, if you guys don't know what I'm trying to say about the title of this thing, just check out the description. So, this is the Cindabath Tunnel, I think. That's what it's called. In Kingsport, Tennessee. So, this story has 3 different versions on why it is the way it is. But basically, this is a folklore, but it's a place too. So, like, okay. So, this place was built in the 1920s, and, sorry, I was writing down my time. It was named after the man who owned the land. His name was Edward Sinsabath. That's why it was, named that. Well, in the first version of why the tunnel is the way it is, Edward, saw the homeless man, and he was like, hey, come on, stay with me till you can get back on your feet or whatever. Let me feed you, let me do this. Well, he woke up to the homeless guy stealing jewelry. So Edward had, he woke up to this noise, and he had a gun, and then the homeless guy grabbed Edward's baby and used it as a shield.
I'll eat your baby.
Pretty much.
Give me your baby.
Yeah, he used it as a shield, and
You
I mean,
like your
obviously, obviously, Edwards wasn't gonna shoot the baby, so he the homeless guy got her away and drowned the baby in the tunnel.
Oh God.
Then the second version is that Edward went mad and killed his entire family, and then threw the bodies in the tunnel. And then the third version, which is like everyone thinks is like the most probably like the truest one, or like one that probably happened. Basically, he lived till he was like his old age, and everything was fine. And then towards the end, teens went in and were vandalizing him and being stupid. So he would go hide at one end of the tunnel, the exit part, and just make scary noises and scare them, not going in. So, yeah. But I was confused because at some pictures, it used to be a railroad, I guess, a railroad tunnel in the older days. And then I saw it fill with water a little bit, and also apparently you can drive your car through it. So I'm not really sure what kind of tunnel this is.
Well, that's what I'm looking at, the pictures right now,
But the legend is that if you shut your car engine off in the middle of the tunnel, you can hear the baby's cry of the baby that apparently died, and hear Edward's footsteps, and also the shadow of a woman appears in your backseat, and your car won't start.
Lovely.
But I don't really know exactly if it's a water tunnel or a drive-through tunnel or
because these are all the same tunnel. I guess it just depends, because this picture, it's fine. There's some water, but I
guess
know.
it's not deep water like I thought it was. Because I looked, but I really couldn't tell for sure.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Maybe you guys can look and decide for yourself what it is. So
you people, our fans from Tennessee, email us or get us on Facebook. Tell us about it.
Yeah. Okay. You want me to tell one more before you do yours?
Yeah, because it'll be my last one of Dudleytown. Doodly freaking do.
Dudleytown. Not Dudleytown. Dudleytown.
Dudleytown.
Okay. Now, when I say this name, don't
butchering
think
it.
No.
Butcher.
No. Don't think of what I think everyone's going to think of. This is the historic Sorrel Weed House.
Okay.
So, this is in Savannah, Georgia. Okay, and the reason this thing has two different last names is because it had two owners. So, I'm going to say that now. Normally, if it's a historic house, it only has one owner. But, so basically, this house was built in the 1840s for a shipping merchant called Francis Sorrel, the first owner. Well, him and his family lived there for about 20 years until 1859. Then he decided to sell the property. Don't know why. So then this guy named Henry D. Weed purchased it, and he was there until 1914. Well, then it was abandoned from 1914 to 1940. And then in 1954, the state, made it a landmark and claimed it. Well, going back to the 1800s, the plans for the house, they started in 1835. The plans were drawn up, but it took 5 years for it to complete.
Just to draw the plans up?
And figure out, what they wanted to do.
Oh, my
with
God.
it.
5 years? What a bunch of dummies.
And they spent $12,000.
Well, when was it built?
it was built well, it started in 1835.
Well, see, back then that was a lot of money. $1,500
No, well, 12, but
or $1,200. Still, that was a lot of money.
so apparently there was this. Well, I mean, back then, slaves were like a huge thing, so they had slave quarters. Well, Francis liked, to hook up with them. Well, he had this one that he was really into, but he was also married. Well, his wife found out and committed suicide.
Oh, my God.
So, but then...
Golly, that house was built for that much. No wonder. Mm-hmm. Well, back then, that was probably... I mean, it's still a beautiful house. Back then, that was like the White House.
Yeah, y'all should go check it out. But his wife committed suicide from the second story, and then the slave girl did the same thing.
Wow.
She hung herself. So, yeah. That was sad. But also people think that Francis murdered them. So that way they wouldn't go and say anything or try to get a divorce. The wife wouldn't get a divorce from him. So...
He might have just kind of helped them, kind of jump up the second story.
Yeah. Well, because the wife looked like she was pushed and not jumped. So, wow. I don't know. But I'm guessing that's why he left, and sold it. So.
He's like, I'll sell my place and kill everybody so no one knows what I did.
Mm-hmm. So, basically what, you can hear and see there is shadowy figures, voices... and get this, the lady in white has returned. You can see her there too.
Wow.
And just like the usual apparitions, hear voices, all that jazz. And then ghost hunters have actually checked this house out. And this show I didn't know existed, but it's called If Walls Could Talk. They checked that out too. So.
Wow.
And I'm just gonna say this because I thought it was interesting. Well, so this is a museum.
This is a picture from there.
Ew.
Yeah, look how he's look how he looks like he's dressed in olden times.
Ew.
Oh man.
So this is a museum, and they do after hours paranormal tours. They do an after hour paranormal investigation for $50 per person. Then they do an after hours paranormal lock-in for $125 per person. And then private investigators or investigation teams and stuff can go in. So that's cool.
Oh my gosh, look at this picture. You see that?
Yeah. I couldn't see over on mics for a second. But
sorry.
But that's it. But
and they say and Savannah's a pretty old town, and they say it's got a lot of hauntings there in Savannah. There's a lighthouse too, I believe, that's haunted. Ooh, here's a picture closer of that guy.
Ew. Yeah, y'all need to check out the pictures because we're finding some stuff right now.
It's right in the background. Man, that would be crazy.
You want to do your story?
Yeah.
Cray.
So,
sorry, this episode's not our best episode, but
we're going to get through it, guys. We're all in it together. All right. My story is about Dudleytown. Not Dudleytown. Dudleytown. Damn it.
Sorry, he's messing with stuff. He has his computer and he's trying to look at pictures.
Well, I wanted to see. This is an old abandoned town from 1700s. It didn't last long at all.
We should go make it
the town looks like it's stuck in time.
Medieval times.
Kinda, in a way. Yeah, look at
Romeo and Juliet. No.
Yeah, that's it right there. Yeah.
Wow, I love
it's
that.
Stuck. See, look at that's all the pictures and stuff around it.
I love that so much.
Anyways, yeah, go look this town up. It's a
Not Duty, Dudley.
Dudleytown. So go check that out. They got some. It's like it's stuck back in time. But legend says that the centuries-old curse was placed upon the town when... Where was that? Oh. Well, where did... Go about the... Okay. The Dudleys. Okay. Anyways. Oh, here we go. Sorry, guys. The legend says that the centuries-old curse was placed upon the town, not by the Dudleys. It kind of was put. It was placed on them back in Europe when King Henry the Fifth. It looks like.
Yeah, I don't know my Roman rules, so don't ask me.
So King Henry the Fifth arrested Ahmad Dudley was beheaded for being a traitor and cursed the whole family.
Dang, punishments back then.
Yeah. He cursed the whole family and cursed their name, and that people have never been the same since. They've always had bad luck. So if you're dating out there, don't run across if you run across somebody named Dudley, don't date them, don't talk to them because they're bad luck.
Someone's with that last name's gonna come at us.
But it was placed on them, back then, and the town had turned into a horrible place. People were committing suicide that did stay, and if you did stay, you went fucking nuts. Supposedly, you went bat crap crazy. So, by the 1800s, this town was already abandoned.
When did the town open?
I haven't said that yet. Oh. Yeah, but by the 1800s, it was abandoned. It became famous as the America's oldest village of the damned. So that was like one of the oldest. That was an
oldest abandoned towns.
It turned out it was a village at first. And yeah, it's the oldest abandoned village.
It does look like it is stuck in time.
Yeah.
Like it looks like something out of Romeo and Juliet.
Well, what started what they try to do there, they try to be farmers, but the land was very crappy to settle and grow stuff on. So, and then after that, just many weird events started happening, like not getting enough rainwater and not getting this. It seemed like it said anything I read on it, every time they thought they was getting ahead in the town and it was going to be something and to make a town, something happened every time.
Was like, nope, not today.
So then you were screwed either way, because if you stayed, you committed suicide or you went insane.
Wow, we should go.
Definitely.
But not for more than like 24 hours.
Oh no, you will.
Lock me in?
Yeah, I'm gonna lock you in a whole town.
Nice, I'll be by myself. No, I'll start eating my arm or something. Okay. So I'm going to do the historic Hanna house. Now, this house has like some tragedy to it. It's really kind of sad. But this is in Indianapolis. Is that how you say it? Indianapolis?
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis, Indiana. So, this is on the south side of Indianapolis. And this is actually, supposedly, one of the most haunted places in the Midwest. But that's can be opinionated too, so this Indiana, the state legislator at the time was Alexander Hanna, and he had built this 24-room house on Madison Avenue in 1858, and it was part of an underground railroad. Basically, he was hiding runaway slaves to help them get their freedom.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. Well, something happened really sad, like one night, which was really awful and sad. The lamps that they had back then, they were the oil lamps.
Oh, yeah.
Someone knocked it over by accident, like bumped into it, and it started a fire, and everyone down there died. There was like, I think, a group of 20 people.
Yeah, because back then, that's what the Underground Railroad was. They had to hide people in the basements and in safe houses, or just... That's why they called it the railroad. It wasn't actually a railroad. It was just, getting from this point to that point, and it was mapped out whose houses were safe. And
yeah. Well, and because he couldn't go to the police and be, hey, they have like 20 slaves here that need to go to the hospital, he just kind of covered them up in dirt. And
yeah, so they didn't have a proper burial.
No. So, I mean, they're probably pissed.
Yeah.
So, And, I mean, people say the slaves haunt the house, which, I mean, understandable.
Yeah, that's quite understandable.
Didn't say what happened after that, But people say that like when they go in the house and stuff, it reeks of death. Like you can smell it.
Ew, I wonder why.
And occasionally the bedrooms like smell like rotting flesh. And then roses all of a sudden, like a funeral.
Wow.
The doors swing open for no reason, and then you get like really cold drafts when it's like no way, like weird, you know what I mean? Well, and then people see Alexander, Hanna, and it's open to the public, so if you guys want to go check them out, you can. They offer ghost tours, but also be careful because they've seen objects be thrown at people.
Let's go there. We can play dodge the object, please.
And stuff's been moved.
We can be like, ouch. We can be like Zach on Ghost Adventurer. You want to throw something? Throw it at me. Throw it at me.
Windows and doors like open and stuff, and then like furniture moves. You know.
Your typical run of the mill, good old stuff.
Yeah, you know, the usual. So. I was like reading that one and I was like, oh, that's sad, but like also they must be so angry that they have to throw stuff at people.
Next week's episode should be better because I've got 2 pretty good sized ones.
I have to research, but I'm not done yet. I have another one.
Why don't you save it?
Because I like this one. This one is for this is a new one.
This
one is for our viewers in New Mexico.
Oh, New Mexico, skinwalking country.
So, this one is the Santa Fe State Penitentiary, and you know how you guys know how I am with my asylums. I don't know why, but I'm so fascinated by them.
Maybe you should go live in one.
Yeah, okay. Wake up and I'll be strapped to a gurney. Okay, so this place housed some of the like very worst criminals in New Mexico, and it was also the site of the most violent prison riots in history of the like United States. One of them of the riots, 33 people were killed and more than 200 inmates were treated for serious injuries.
That's crazy. They must have went all out for that one.
Yeah. Inmates were buried alive, brutally attacked, set on fire, murdered in cold blood, just anything you can think of.
Wow.
They do offer tours, you know? So basically this was a men's maximum security prison, and it opened in 1885. And there was 3 deadly riots, you know, since it opened. There was a former unit called the Old Main Unit, you know, like the main place, and it was built as in 1996, and it wasn't a prison, but it like, I don't know how to explain it. It was like, it wasn't a prison, but it was a prison.
I love going to prisons that aren't prisons.
Like, it wasn't, because it was a penitentiary, but this is like where they kept like the inmates that were, basically this was a prison, but they call it a penitentiary. I guess that's like, they kept like the psychological people there, like where they needed to be evaluated, I guess, and stuff like that. So, yeah. But there, in 1955, 2 inmates were killed and many more were injured. So, and then in 1980s, there was an extreme overcrowding and like poor food thingy happening, and like basically like whenever there's overcrowding, there's not many people that like get the help they need. And also you're in a maximum security thing, so like, you know, well, there was 1 guard to 100 inmates. That's how many people there were. So like, you know.
Wow.
Well,
so they got to do what they wanted.
Basically. This group of violent prisoners temporarily were housed in a dormitory like style cell block. Well, the 1980s inmates, whenever like the overcrowding took place, they basically took over the old unit, like the old main unit.
Yeah.
And they took that over for like 36 hours, so like what, almost 2 days.
Yeah.
And they tortured and murdered others, like other inmates. They completely destroyed it. and then they repaired it and reopened it for 18 more years. So
Wow.
whenever that happened, they had to restore it and stuff, and they fixed it up, you know. And then another incident happened after that. That's whenever the 2 inmates were killed. So, but it closed in 1998. So, you know. But people see shadows and apparitions, and the cell doors just like slam and shut and open and close. They get really bad cold spots. And get this, the electricity shut off in 1998 when the prison shut down. The electricity turns off and on.
God. Well, a lot of death happened there. A lot of them prisons hold a lot of energy.
I know. The cell block 3 and 4 are the most haunted, and along with the tool room and laundry room. So, you know, if you're ever there and you're on the tour, if you want to go check those out, you should totally do it.
God, look at this old place.
Oh, I know. I just looked kind of at the outside. I haven't really looked at the inside.
God, that was after the riots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they completely destroyed it. Yeah.
Golly.
Y'all should totally go check out the pictures. Sorry, I'm over here touching crap. But, yeah, y'all should totally go check out the pictures.
Well, it's been fun, guys. It's been real. But we'll have a lot more fun on our next episode, too, you scallywags.
Yeah, sorry, this one's kind of boring. Also, we're really exhausted right now.
Yeah.
We're going through some stuff.
We'll be recharged for the next one, ladies and gents. That ought to be pretty good. Just to give you a little heads up.
What are you going to be talking about?
I'm going to be talking about... Candyland. Carla Crane.
Okay. Don't know what that is, but I'm interested to find out. I don't know what I'm going to be talking about, so I got to find that out. It's a surprise.
And then I'm going to be talking about... Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to be going over the facts of my first story. That's what it looks like. So, yeah. I guess so.
Wow. That's a long one.
Yeah. And this is about the ghost of Mr. Lockie, the ghost of... Oh, wait a minute. That's episode 4. I was sitting there going, why does this shit sound familiar?
Because it said done. I was like, what are you doing?
Oh, I know. I write done on all my stuff every time I'm done with it.
Okay, sorry. He had a brain fart.
Yes, God.
I was wondering, I was like, Dad, that says done. What are you doing?
Anyways, now I'm on the right page and the right stuff.
Okay.
That's what I thought. Yeah, next week I'm going to be going over the Colorado Riverdale Road.
Okay.
And my next story would be Delaware, Mr. Chew. Not at Chew, but Mr. Chew. And please don't say Chew because he will kill you. For real, just a little hint for next week. He used to get pissed off because people would go, Achoo. They'd call him Achoo. They wouldn't call him by his real name. His name was Mr. Chew. They'd say, Mr. Achoo.
And so, okay. Okay, well, let's wrap it up. But as always, follow us on the Gram, Twitter, and the Facebook. Facebook is Ghost Stories Told from the South. Instagram and Twitter is South Texas Ghost. TX is, abbreviated for Texas. Email is ghoststoriesstillfromthesouth@gmail.com. And what are we on?
Spotify, Stitcher,
Apple Podcast,
Google Play, and we got our stuff in for iHeart. We'll hear something back from them.
And here's some interesting news. Amazon.
Oh yes,
and
Amazon.
Audible also hit us up. But Audible is a book thing, so I got to look into that. But yeah, they hit us up, so we're
gonna have a show coming maybe on Amazon. Y'all can check us out there too, fellas and ladies.
But thank you to everybody who's been listening, and we love y'all. So just keep
listening to us. Y'all keep downloading everything, and hey, we have noticed how people listen to our stuff right when it comes out.
Yeah. So. So for the month of October, we already kind of have an idea, but we're going to have like a bunch of stuff. We're going to be kind of starting in September through October. So send us spooky stories. We might do a question. Just do like anything. Just start sending.
Yeah,
us
any
some
stories
stuff.
that maybe happen to you, or maybe in your hometown there's some legends, or something cool.
And you don't have to email us. You can do Facebook, Instagram, whatever.
Yes.
So,
And y'all,
yeah.
y'all keep liking our stuff. We notice when it comes out, y'all are listening to it that day, which is awesome.
Yeah, we love it. So, but okay, we'll let you boogly heads go. So just yeah, have a
I
good,
am Stephen Booth, your host, and this is
Lexi, your
and you
co-host.
have been listening to Ghost Stories Told from the South.
Have a good Wednesday. Love y'all.
Check you later, man.
Bye.